Hello and welcome to The Lab, a Minecraft podcast where we explore, experiment, and theorize about all things Minecraft. I am MinerThoughts, and with me is my co-host, my brother from down under, The1Troj. How are you this weekend, Troj?
We are in full-on preparation mode here this weekend for the first time in a long time. First time in my living memory. We've got a cyclone probably going to cross this far south on the Australian east coast. And it's going to be interesting this week. And it's going to cross on my birthday, apparently. So.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Thank you. It's going to rock my world. And then up north, we had an earthquake last night. So very unusual for us to have an earthquake in this part of the world. So, yeah.
Do you guys get tsunamis?
Very rarely. Very rarely. See, where I am on the East Coast, where I am particularly in the city of Brisbane, we got a whole line of islands, big sand islands, some of the biggest sand islands in the world. I don't know whether this is true or not, but I was always told in school and that for a tsunami to hit Brisbane, Australia will be gone because those islands would break up most of it. And then the further north you go, you got the Great Barrier Reef. So it sort of breaks a lot of that sort of stuff up. But it was like a 4.5, but it was enough to rattle, nowhere near me, but it was enough to rattle houses. So, yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. Well, in our area, the other day, it was caught on the news that there was some kind of seismic event. Apparently, it was the guys at Marble Cliff Quarry that set off five blasts at once.
At once?
And
you just wishing you were there.
It made the news.
You were wishing you were there.
The news. Oh, I was there.
Oh, really?
It was loud. A lot of smoke. A lot of smoke.
That didn't come as any shock to you.
Yeah, it was another day at the quarry, so.
Fair enough.
The neighbors didn't like it.
As a child, you yearned for the mines.
Yes, and speaking of yearning for the mines, let's get into the episode. Last Minecraft movie. Sorry.
I think Brad Pitt should play
you. We're not allowed to say that.
The lab podcast movie, Brad Pitt should play you.
I'd be on board with that.
Stud silence. But yes, the trailer. The trailer.
The last Minecraft movie, a Minecraft movie trailer. Thoughts? I'm going back and forth on it.
I think it looks great. I really do. We've gone from the first trailer, which I think everyone universally went, to what we've got now. Honestly, I think it looks great. I know there's a lot of negativity around it, but I think my kids loved it, that trailer. My youngest absolutely, she just can't wait. From the second trailer onwards, she's, look at this, And my eldest, DTG, he was very, this looks poop. And then I told him that the newest trailer was out, and we were having dinner on Friday night, and he was watching it, and he's just sitting there going, hee. He goes, this looks actually pretty good. When I watch it, I think they've gone to great lengths to really capture the essence of Minecraft, from things like chicken cookers to the villages to just little tiny Easter eggs that are there that for the Minecraft player, the Minecraft enthusiast will get it. Like, in the last trailer they had like a minecart thing. And it would have been very easy for them just to make a Minecraft track. But if you actually look at it, at the right pace, at the right spacing, there are powered rails with redstone torches next to it. Like, I think the incredible detail that they've gone to, and I think some of the criticism that has been coming out about it is people are missing context. Like, I know people are complaining, the nether portals are blue, And I said to a few people well, hang on a minute. They've walked through a portal from the overworld, from the real world into the overworld. So the blue portal's probably one that goes to the real world. Let's just wait. And lo and behold, in this trailer, we got a purple nether portal. So I like what I'm excited to go see it. I'm going to go see it in the cinema. I am.
Now, I know this is not a Does It Adapt podcast. This is the Lab podcast. I've had kind of a discussion with the Bearded Bard my son, Josh, and kind of on the fence. And we had you on for the Star Wars mega episode,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the criticisms for, like, the latest in the chapters of Star Wars were that, like, the first one was a lot of fan service, a lot of nostalgia. So the reason why I'm on the fence about this is because I can see them putting in the things, the nostalgia, the Easter eggs and stuff, but I hope it doesn't go too overboard. It kind of respects the spirit of the actual game without getting, too crazy. But the characters still seem weird to me, especially Jason Momoa's.
When I
He
when I
just,
when I heard that he was like an 80s washed up video game champion, it all made sense to me. That whole character, everything that we know, and we're going off trailers here. I get it. I see it. It's sort of like a very the movie Pixels sort of vibe with his character, the way it sort of feels. I don't know. I think it's going to surprise people, and I think it's very much taking inspiration too from Legends, Minecraft Legends, like
definitely
with the Nether attacking the overworld sort of thing. I think it's, and if you look at the Nether portal design that they've gone with, it's got a very, very much a Legends vibe to it.
Oh, definitely.
I think for me, the biggest thing that annoys me when I hear the criticism about this movie, or based on the trailers, is, they should have just fully animated it. You know what? If they had have done that, people would be saying, they should have done live action. We've got people that have animated stuff. YouTube channels animate Minecraft. Why can't they do something different? I'll guarantee you that's the arguments we would have got.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, but it's the same thing with anything that comes out of Minecraft or anything really. You have people that you just can't please everybody. You're going to have some people pick on certain things, and some people like certain things and some people don't, and you just can't please everybody.
So here in Australia at the moment, one of our major supermarket chains called Woolworths, every year they do this like little collectible thing. And if you spend $30 or more, you get one of these things. And this year they're doing something called Cubies. And it's a little cardboard thing. DTG got a Steve's head and I got this last night. That has been so popular, particularly with kids. So
Are they paper craft? Do you put them together, or do you?
So it comes in a flat sheet. These things,
right.
They come in they're a flat sheet. Basically, it's 1, 2. They come in three sections long, I think, and you sort of bend one over that way, and you bend one over that way, and they click together. So
okay.
They're little kid things. I wanted a mushroom, but I didn't. I got one of these. But they've been so popular, particularly with kids, and it's obviously coinciding with release of the Minecraft movie. I think the movie's going to do well because kids are going to want to see it. And I think the trailers now are designed to get interest from not just kids, but also Minecraft players. Like, you can't watch that trailer and go, this is not Minecraft. Like, there's so much in there that is Minecraft related. I just hope the story's fun. I hope it's a fun ride.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's more than just save the overworld. The bearded bard, my son, he's got a theory. I don't know if the listeners have heard it, but it's a heck of a theory.
It's a good one that'll never happen.
It is not going to happen. It's not. This movie is not going to have a Marvel ending where credits roll and, it shows a kid, and this kid's name is Notch. It's not going to happen.
Considering the separation of those two, Minecraft, and it's not going to happen. But I tell you what though, it's a good one and it's a good story. And no, I'd be very surprised. I don't think it'll happen. I really don't.
Yeah. But I do like the fact that Steve, as a child, yearned for the mines, and that they show a real mine. So I appreciate that. And attention to detail. we're talking about attention to detail, the hard hat he has from little kid to his adult hard hat, the mind light changed from generation to generation. They actually updated it. So I appreciate that attention to detail.
I think there's a lot of attention to detail. I think there's a lot in there that, people are just watching a trailer and they're not deep. You don't deep dive a trailer, I get that, but I've watched that trailer now a few times. You notice these little different things, and in the trailer that came out before this one, we've sort of got a little story that's unfolded just between the two trailers. Like, they actually showed a villager going through the portal into the blue portal. They showed that. In this trailer, we got the follow on from that. He get hit by a car.
Well, because it's a nitwit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is the attention to detail that they're putting in there. They've taken the stupidest villager, made him do something that villagers do, which is go through portals willy-nilly and get themselves hit by a car. It makes perfect sense.
Oh, no, not again. What does that mean? Yeah, on Does It Adapt? On Does It Adapt, we're going to do a deep dive. The Bearded Bard and I are going to go see it as research and, for the podcast and also give our thoughts.
You get to talk about it twice on two different podcasts. Maybe it's a crossover episode.
Yeah.
One that appears on both. But should we? It is the end of the month. Should we just cover a little bit of the feedback that we got through the month of February?
This is kind of a dual episode type thing. Talk a little bit about the last trailer and a little bit of feedback we have.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk about the trailer because it's a hot topic and it's just come out. So but let's jump into some feedback. So we had our Finding Creativity Outside of Minecraft, where we just wanted an excuse to speak about roleplay games on a Minecraft podcast. But we had some feedback there as well. We had one from Thomas. I definitely have some creative juices I need to let loose soon. Great episode. Getting the internet hooked up tomorrow. P.S. No need to share that on the review. Too late. I did. So Thomas is an Interons player. He's been going through a bit of a tough time, and he hasn't been able to be on the server or create content or anything for a long time. And not since the early days of this world. Probably almost close to a year. But he's back. He's making things again, and it's great. Thomas, it's great to see you back and getting back into the groove. So we've missed you. Then we got a comment there from Sling and Sharks. Also now, might I add, a newer member of Interons. I've definitely found that taking periodic breaks from Minecraft to do other things, whether gaming, crafting, spending time with loved ones in real life, etc., is the best way to stay inspired and healthy as a creator. For one, it helps keep you grounded in what truly matters in life. And for another, can serve as amazing inspiration or just a refresh of your mind. Whatever the case, breaks are healthy. I recently found unusual inspiration ideas for my Minecraft content playing The Sims, watching a friend do pixel hobby, putting together a Lego set, and playing board games with the family. Having creative and engaging content goes hand in hand with having a healthy and vibrant life. And I think that's true. You've got to find the balance. You can't go 100%. If you're not a full-time creator, you can't go 100% content. You still got to spend time with the family, and that, the kids and I still have our times where we do things together. Friday night, usually we go out and we do something. During the week, it's obviously homework, and you're working on them with the homework. And once homework's finished, it's particularly my eldest boy. It's, Dad, do you want to play this? Yeah, okay. We play for an hour before he goes to bed or something like that. And then content hits. So that's the balance. And I think, I think what Sling says there about the in real life thing is definitely true. Life is but fleeting, so definitely live it. Don't sit in front of a computer all the time.
I was thinking about that today, but I've already forgotten. No, I was thinking about it yesterday. Anyway, I've already forgotten what I was thinking about, but it was, oh, I know what it was. I was, this whole week, I was feeling really, really under the weather and didn't know what was going on and ended up in the ER and thinking about, like, man, I don't want this to be bad. But it brings me back to thinking that, life is fleeting. We're getting older, but we're trying to make the most of every moment. So it's just doing those things that bring joy.
And this might be a little bit deep and a deeper dive, but and some of the stuff that's been going on, that I've needed to take an extended break from streaming and content, apart from the podcasts, but just the Minecraft content has had to put a break on. You see some of the things that's happening. Well, I'm seeing personally here. Some of the health battles that my older members of my family are going through at the moment, and everything that these particular people are having are hereditary. And it's like, man, it will be an absolute miracle for me to dodge all or any of that. So it's like, okay, life is here. You've got to enjoy it. You take the opportunities. You don't say no. You experience things. You enjoy and participate and get your experiences in. You try and jam as much in. You appreciate the time that you have with your loved ones, but you've also got to have time for yourself as well. You've got to experience those things, and you find what brings you joy and make sure that you do participate in those. And one of those things for me is Minecraft, and one of those things is making content based on Minecraft, and one of those things is role-playing games and making content from role-playing games. And it's just interesting to also know that our friend Rebel JC is actually making a Minecraft roleplay, so combining the two as well. So it's find your passion and enjoy it, and do it, and if you can do it, like I've been so fortunate that my kids have been wanting to do the Minecraft journey and the content journey, and they're the ones that pulled me and pushed me to do it. I had no interest, and then they pushed and pulled me into doing it. And then, that was such an amazing bonding time as they were growing up, particularly through COVID, and that when they were trapped inside, having that, I'll forever be grateful for that time, because it's just the incredible bonds that were formed from it. So very good comment, Sling.
And just for everybody's information, I'm fine. Turns out it was just a stomach bug. It was
gas.
Got out.
No, I've got to admit, I was worried about you, because it's for you.
It wasn't pretty.
but for me to get a message from you, so to give people context, usually what happens is we try to record on a Saturday morning, my Saturday morning, just as I've sort of got up, sort of thing. And that gives me usually Saturday during the day to edit it, and then it comes out on my Monday midnight. That's sort of how we roll with it. For me to have woken up to a message saying, I don't think I can record today, was very unsettling, because mine never misses a recording time. It's usually me changing it. I was worried, so I was glad to hear you're okay.
Well, I was a tiny bit as well. I just messaged you, said, hey, go into the ER. I'll let you know if I'm going to make it.
I put Jurassics and Cubsy on speed dial in case I need to call someone in.
Well, and I even posted in the interim section, I said, is anybody streaming tonight? Might be, or is not streaming tonight, might be available. Nobody caught on to that, but I didn't want to go into too much detail, but I'm fine. I'm fine.
You passed the gas. Good job.
But yeah.
Let's leave that one in the toilet. We have another message there from Cobble K. Feeling that Minecraft burnout as a content creator can really sneak up on you, especially if what you're working on requires a lot of creativity. Some days I can be sat and creative for hours looking at the same build and unable to place a single block. And others it comes so easy. The thing that seems to work for me is working on different builds, exercising different creative muscles. Another great podcast. Thank you, Cobble, for the nice comment there. And I think that's one mistake I've made in this world, is I haven't got enough projects. I've got one giant one, and I'm burning out on it because it's the same thing. This part of the project, it's this part of the project, it's the same style, it's the same design. And I think I saw it when I went to go and start trying to design the nether tunnel to the end. I was so locked in for the last year and a half of building ancient Greco-Roman style, I couldn't break out of it. I just couldn't do it. And the palette of green terracotta, spruce, all that sort of, that palette was just, that was what I'm working with in my head, and copper, it's in my head. That's what I wanted to use. And it's like, okay, let's go. And we won't mention purple, but yeah, I think last World 3, I had too many projects spread out across different things, different aspects of the world, and didn't really achieve anything. This time, I've gone it too far the other way. It's just one project. Yeah. So that's a fair comment, Cobble, to try have different things you can work on to spread that creativity.
Yeah, but like on your season 2 stuff, you kind of with the Western town, you kind of did one building at a time. Kind of like worked out each building at a time. The schoolhouse, church, whatever. I can't remember which one it was.
It was a church.
And the saloon, and and the different buildings.
Time out on this. Hang on. I'm gonna call time on this. In the Western times, the church and the schoolhouse were often one and the same building.
Yes.
So
yes, they were.
We're all right, but it's at the very end of the street. It's a church, because in those days, religion was important to most people, so it was the most prominent, usually the most prominent building in the town.
Yeah, for anybody who's watched Little House on the Prairie, I mean, it's one and the same.
They use it during the week for school and Sunday for worship. So, yeah. So Jurassic.
Well, he face planted the saloon, so
he did, and his face is still permanently there in the world downloads to commemorate that. But you're right. But the difference with the Wild West Town Wildwood was every building was different. Every building was a different palette, and I deliberately did that to make it look varied, to make it look different, and it's a different experience as you walk through the town. So it was sort of like a different project every few days, which kept it fresh. Whereas the one I'm doing now, there's not a lot of scope for variation, because you're sort of stuck in that Greco-Roman sort of vibe. And if you were to put something in there that's a very different vibe with a different palette, it's going to look so out of place now with everything else that's in there. Like, I think the place is looking great, but it's just I am definitely burnt out on that project.
Yeah. But I mean, that's something that I haven't quite figured out, is block palettes, and but I think you can go overboard at the same time with, I've seen builds that people call they label as block vomit where you can tell that they're trying to add lights and shadows and gradients and whatnot, but sometimes it's just like, I don't know, it's just a lot of blocks.
I think if you're playing on that spectrum, you have to do it well like B-dubs. If you're not doing it well like B-dubs, then it doesn't look any good.
And did we have any feedback on that episode where we talked about Hermitcraft?
This is the one.
This is the one.
This is the one.
Okay.
Because Jurassic.
But I noticed.
Jurassic said, I also have been loving Mumbo's content this season. So yeah, this was the one.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, yes, I mean, just watching Mumbo work and his process, he's trying those things that a lot of builders have known about for a while, gradients, and they're trying the gradients and things. So it's they're expanding their creativity.
And then you've got Mojang adding more and more blocks to the game too, which potentially adds to that vomit for some people. But it gives us, those that like being creative and building, it gives us more to play with. We won't mention inventory. We harped on enough about that last week. Yes, you're getting more blocks to play with to assist with that creativity. And the pale moss came in, and it actually works really well with tough in that whole, it's got that greeny sort of blend in it. So I'm not going to go back to the older builds and put it in. No. But I'm starting to incorporate it into the new one. So the most recent one I did was a 35,000 block build around the top of my hole, where my industrial area is, and I incorporated that into it, and it actually helps with the gradient, and I think that's great. But Cobble, because we were talking about them adding into it, and if people are getting overwhelmed, obviously, with the whole quickness of updates. And Cobble says, I was just starting to feel a little overwhelmed by all the updates, but I think you nailed it, Troj. I usually do. I'm used to updates twice a year and being excited for them. It also gave me time to use/play with everything that came in those updates. I love Mojang for still giving us content, so I don't like to complain. However, there are definitely times where I'm playing in modded and I'm thinking this doesn't belong in vanilla. And I'm hoping Mojang recognizes the difference between things that will enhance our experience and things that will make the game I know and love unrecognizable, if that makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think in some ways the game Minecraft is becoming more unrecognizable, and not necessarily in a bad way, but we are definitely getting more and more things to play with. And it can be definitely overwhelming. And this conversation actually spilled over into the Discord, and I should have actually got it. And there was a comment there from Steve, Rainbow Lister. And I'm going to paraphrase it, Steve, and if you're listening, I apologize. But he was raising the point about types of autism. He can feel overwhelmed with it because he's feeling so overwhelmed because of that. And Mojang are just throwing that much at the player base. It's making him feel, I just want to back away from Minecraft. And maybe that's something I hadn't taken that into account when we had that discussion. I think it was a really good point. Maybe they need to take that into account too, is people, wherever they sit on the spectrum, it may just be too much for them.
Yeah. And and that might be another reason why we should have a discussion that Ray's Works brought up about why people play in older versions of Minecraft.
But yeah, it's that whole conversation went to places I wasn't. Yeah, because that spilled over into the Interrealm's Discord, and that conversation kept going. So it was really interesting to watch. And the last little bit of feedback that we had is actually over on Patreon from, I'm sorry, I'm going to get your name wrong, because everyone that knows my streams knows that I get names first time every time, calling someone called Malins Mathiterans as an example. Anyway, Signabald, I hope I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. Feel free to correct me in a message. Just basically saying, because we do a pre-show if we don't have technical issues. We have a pre-show for each episode that goes on there. And the message here, I just realized the patron pre-show seems to be video only. Would you consider putting it up as an audio version using patrons' podcast features? Blah, 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 etc., etc. You could either do it like the Spawn Chunks and publish a separate audio file, or you could just have a separate patron-only feed with the pre-shows and keep the regular episodes on the public feeds. I like your idea about making that a stretch goal. And I think that might be how we handle it, because yes, it would add more workflow. Neither mine nor myself are full time, and I'll be honest, I do all the editing mostly for the main episodes of the lab. And yeah, time is precious at the moment. That's why I'm not even getting time to stream just at the moment. So, but it's definitely something that we'll take on consideration. We'll probably get Keegers to help us with that, because he's much more technically minded over those things. So rest assured.
Especially for the RSS feeds, because he's the one that's we give him the episode and he puts it out through our host Acast, and Acast puts it out to, feeds it out to Apple and Pandora and Spotify and all those. I've noticed other podcasts, they do like locked episodes. That's something that I know nothing about. Maybe Keegers does. So yeah, it has to be a separate feed.
Rest assured, we've definitely seen the message. We've taken it on board, and we are we're looking into it. Just feasibility right now, it'd be a bit tough to do. I hope you are enjoying the pre-shows, even though they are in video format only. But yeah, let's see. At the moment we've got 3 patrons. Maybe we can get a few more in, and it might free up a little bit more time. So. But thank you. We do appreciate your support, and definitely thank you for the ideas. It's on the agenda. Let's put it that way. But that's basically the end of the feedback for February, Miner.
Is it?
It is. Short month, short feedback.
Or there was that one on that one short, but they were asking about cryptocurrency, so we won't cover that one.
That's it. But I think you're forgetting something.
Has anyone noticed? The new merch? Have they noticed the sweater? We have merch, the new design. This is either going to look good or it's going to look like because green screen is cutting my head off. There's more than just green as far as the lab podcast. Reimagine got a purple shirt, which she loves very much. But there are other color options for the new Lab Podcast merch. And links for that will be down in the description. And it's hot in this room. Too hot to wear that.
Yes, you can find all that on the Interrealms merchandise shop. There will be a link below. So yeah, that's out there now as a permanent line. So my line in the script. So where can people talk to us, Miner?
Yes, sure. I've got the script right here. The best way to talk to us would be on the Discord, of course. But if you'd like to talk to us privately, you can do it at the email, which is minecraftlabpodcast@gmail.com. And you can also find us on the socials. It's MCLab_podcast on Twitter X or on Blue Sky at Lab MC Podcast. And of course, all these links and more can be found on the interrealmssmp.com website. I got it.
Well done. And don't forget to check the links below for the merchandise if you want to get some of that. And would love to add some more names to the patron list. So if you are thinking about supporting, you do get some behind the scenes stuff. You get the pre-show. Yeah, it's a nice little place to further connect with our audience. And also, if you are interested, don't forget to check out Miner, myself, DTG, Lyciant, and occasional appearances by the Bearded Bard over on the Tales from the Interrealms podcast, TTRPG actual play. We're having lots of fun. Would love for you to come and listen, particularly what comes out in the month of April, which is our Blade in 68 playtest. 3 episodes. Yes, and done. Big twist. And our patrons get a little behind the scenes of that in the pre-show. So, hopefully we're getting them excited for that as well. With that, we will talk to you guys next week.
Next week
is going to be real mining, which you need to record right now. Yes.
Right now, because of your storm.
Because of the cyclone.
Okay.
This has been a production of the Interrealms Podcast Network. For more information, go to podcast.interrealmssmp.com. You can see that full link in the description of this episode. Thank you for listening.
Wait, was that right? Oh, let me start over.
I think it was.
For some reason, I thought I was supposed to say Minecraft Lab.
That's because of the pre-show. We were talking about the old names, and you got yourself screwed up.
Okay, rewind that. Starting over.